out here and amongst nature. It reminds me of all those traditions that were all based in nature. And we have one coming up, which is the 8-8 Lion's Gate. And so we ask, what is Lion's Gate really? And the conversation about the 8-8 Lion's Gate really circles around that heightened awareness, that expanded intuition and transformation, and perhaps most particularly, manifestation and changes in consciousness that need to take place in order for us to manifest anything. Because beneath all of this, there is something that is very, very practical. Long, long ago, spirit-based cultures around the world were looking for explanations to what they didn't understand. The rhythms of the seasons, the cycles of agriculture and planting and harvesting, all of these things were a mystery to them, and they needed to navigate the oceans and discover the meaning of the passage of time. And so human beings looked to find greater meaning in their lives, and they oftentimes looked to the skies. And the stars moved in particular patterns, and it offered them some sense of that which is greater. The sky became a calendar, became a teacher, became a reflection on life on earth. And so the sky became a large circle, sometimes called heaven. In yoga we call it the universal mind, the universal consciousness. And so that's a circle. And then there's the circle of our earthly existence. So it's a circle over a circle, and that represents the 8. And the movements of that greater circle, the sky, helped humanity recognize that life has all of these cycles. You know, there are moments for planting, moments for growing, moments for harvesting, moments for allowing the soil to rest. And they started to realize that this also tended towards their own lives. There's moments for remembering and releasing and creating and receiving. And so this ancient human relationship between the familiar and the unfamiliar became commonplace. You never knew how the harvest was going to be when you were planting the seeds. And so the lion of the 8-8 Lion's Gate represents the courage that is required to step out of familiarity. You know, familiarity feels very safe because the nervous system recognizes it. Even discomfort can become familiar. Even limitations can become familiar. Wanting becomes familiar, and wanting is, by the way, deeply connected to our breathing because the body wants oxygen. The cells want nourishment. And the nervous system wants predictability. And so wanting creates our movement. Wanting creates our migrations. Wanting created all of what has happened throughout history. And that movement is towards something oftentimes felt as unknown, oftentimes felt as an insecurity. Now, having creates an entirely different condition, because having requires receiving. Having requires connecting to that space. Having requires the capacity to remain present even after the prayer has been answered. This is when an answer begins approaching and the familiarity of the wanting starts to give way to the unfamiliarity of the having. And the nervous system meets that unfamiliarity. The answer to a desire or a prayer requires a new identity. And it may require a different daily rhythm, a different form of responsibility, a different commitment. And this is a releasing of the old emotional security and the courage to accept the new. And so it's the circle below accepting the circle above, the 8. The lion represented the courage to receive what we've been asking for. And there's another important totem in this relationship of 8-8, and that's the frog. Because the frog begins life in the water, breathing water through its gills. And its entire existence is in water. Its entire familiarity is in that water. And then a transformation occurs. The body begins to change. Legs develop and the gills begin to dissolve, and suddenly it can't breathe as the lungs are developing. And there comes a moment in the life of this exquisite creature when it must have the courage to leave breathing the water and stick its head into the air and accept what will now nourish it, accept the answer to its prayer. This is tremendous faith, tremendous trust. The frog releases the environment that sustains its life and enters an entirely new relationship with the world. This is the difference between your wanting and your having what you want. Because like the frog that carries that biological wisdom to release one form of security and enter into another which is completely insecure, this also represents the passage from wanting to having. This movement from the prayer to the answer. This is the 8 of the circle above meeting the circle below. This is the lion's gate. And this is the courage and the faith and the trust that we require in order to meet with what we want, with what we desire, transforming that wanting and desiring in prayer into the having and the answer. And together, this symbolic 8 describes that meaning, that represents that gateway where the circle of our wanting meets the circle of our having, of our answers. And by the way, there's this symbolism in the number 8 that comes from the origins of numbers themselves. The number 6 is that circle with that piece going up. That represents the circle of our life, the circle of the earth, reaching into the space beyond, reaching into that circle above and asking for something. And then comes the 7, which originally was just a slash with crossbars. And that represents the ladder of climbing into the space beyond. And it was the original form of 7 that meant that ladder that we must climb once we've had that prayer of the 6. The climb towards our greater clarity, our purpose, our conscious maturing. Then came the 8, the raven calls. Then came the 8, which is that meeting between our 3 brains, of our consciousness and the universal mind of that space beyond. And then after the 8 was the 9, in which the circle of that which was beyond us reached down and answered our prayer. So the 6 climbed the ladder of the 7, arrives at the gate of 8. Beyond is the prayer of answering the 9. And all we have on 8/8 or August 8, we stand with a double. And that meant something to people hundreds of years ago. Because that 8/8 was that meeting doubled. And that gate of heaven meeting the earth, it represented a concentrated moment so that we have a greater capacity of prayer. We have a greater capacity to climb through our experience of life. We have a greater capacity to develop a strength to understand what are the courages, what are the faiths, what are the trusts that we must use, and what will it take for us to actually accept the answer to our prayer. And as we arrive at that gate, the question is constant. Do we possess the heart of a lion required to walk through it? Do we possess the awareness of the frog to take that deep breath, walking through that gate of all of our old securities? Because this passageway requires all of this. It requires our courage and our faith and our trust. And so it requires that we develop that analytics of the head brain and the time and timing of the heart brain and the connection to space of the gut brain, and include all of our senses so that we can allow for that which is to come to us to be accepted by us. So this is where we establish the real work of the symbology of the 8/8 Lion's Gate through our daily life, through our attention going forward. We can ask, what prayer have I been carrying? What answer may already be approaching? What familiarity am I what unfamiliarity am I avoiding, which is causing the lack of manifestation in my life? This is something that all of us need to answer. And then we need to determine, where is the courage that is required? Where is the faith that is required? Where is the trust? And these questions are found in our body, and that's why we do our Kriya work. That's why we do our breath work. That's why we do our meditation work. Because the Lion's Gate literally becomes a living practice, and we sit quietly within it. We breathe into the heart center and the solar plexus, which holds the subconscious and the emotional body. And we breathe into all of these things which are holding our familiarities and our relationships with that which is the way it is, which is avoiding the way it can be if our prayers are answered. And so as we go through this process of approaching this double gateway of 8/8, and the name of it being the Lion's Gate, let's remember that breathing becomes our believing. What we breathe in, we believe in. What we breathe in, we accept in. And so that let us have each conscious breath being a system that presents to us kind of a symbol of safety, so that we can actually learn to meet the answers to our prayer, the delivery of our desires, and accept them, so that our 8-8, our circle of our life on the earth, with the earth, and the circle of that which is beyond us, can truly meet in a moment of unfamiliarity and yet manifestation of our desires, so that we can move from the wanting into the having and have real clarity and real connection and real timing. The Lion's Gate is an ancient conversation, and what we're choosing to do is express it through contemporary language. And we'll do it with movement through the emotional body, breathing into the memory body, creativity of courage and the nervous system, and allowing ourselves to reach out into what I call the universal mind, that upper circle, and literally touch it by communicating consciously with it, so that our awareness can determine, perhaps less about a gate and more about a capacity to receive, more about a capacity to not only receive, but to accept that which is all around us, which is the answer to our prayers, the completion of our desires, because the universal mind is constantly transmitting the answers to our needs. That's the nature of the soul's guarantee. Love you. Sat Nam.